Thank you. No audio. Oh, I'm sorry. You missed my whole spiel. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Quick take two. Hopefully, I didn't lose too many people. If I did, oh well, one of those days. I forgot to put myself on the stage and turn my mic on. Okay. So, what I said before, I'll give you the brief version of it was we're at an interesting point. Vol Signals tweeted out yesterday part of the Nomura note saying that there's 100 billion to buy coming up in July, uh, based on realized volatility being less than implied volatility as a look back window from the last couple months. The 3 month, 1 month look back window rolls off, and vol control funds, that's how they allocate based on that, oversimplified. And if you've been reading the stuff that I've been writing about the realized volatility versus implied volatility. Well, I may be I'm a tourist in the vol space, not a guide, but Quantuition gives me enough of an edge to see what's going on. I think so. With that said, Goldman Sachs is saying pension funds have 26 billion to sell or whatever, rebalancing. So we have this situation where we might get the pullback from overboard or whatever technical jargon you want to use, TA chart stuff, and then we can get the pullback possibly. We know we have 59.05 below us into next week. So even a 1% pullback, 1% to six would put us still at 60/40, 60/50, whatever. So we're still far away from that. And then that clears out on Monday. So maybe we can have a moment of weakness early July before things firm up and the big pension fund and the hedge funds start to buy, unless there's some real kerfluffle in the RV space and the realized volatility. As we're talking about looking ahead, although this is a zero DT, yeah, I was really talking to myself today. The story of my life, bro. The story of my life. Luckily, I enjoy my company, so it's okay. Um, April 9th, we have the tariff deadline pause, unpause. Remember that? April 9th, July 9th. So mark your calendars. And while we're at it, I'm shifting gears real quick. I'm moving around here, and I'll get back to zero DT. Sorry, kids. So let's go see. Let's just look at IV. I don't see a big, April 9th, 118. I don't see anything here yet. Let's just real quick for fun. Look at the 20 delta put, 1980, whatever it is. Look at the 20 delta call. Okay. So there's a big I mean, there is a skew, a mispricing of the put versus the call. I don't know if that's a normal skew or not, but just kind of throwing that in there for myself. I'll kind of keep that in the back of my mind, and you can too. Okay, so let's get back to zero DTE. So I guess they didn't like the numbers, so we're heading back to 6100. From a vol space point of view, I would like to see us below 6100. I would like to see a few days of compressed realized volatility. Also, as a volatility seller, I kind of like that before we probably take a new range. with vols at a 16, 17 handle for the VIX, and what was it, like a 13 or something? I put in my note for the 9 day. There's not going to be a lot of premium room. I think we'll see. So let's quickly go to options depth, and then we'll go through some of the other stuff. So here's the zero DTE. I actually had to rewrite my whole note. I had it on the wrong thing this morning, or it didn't refresh or whatever. And so here we are, 6,100. We have a shelf of support. So job zone, 6,100. I'm willing to give it a little bit because we could undercut a little bit, but technically we could say 6,100 where we are now. We have this market maker short gamma zone where we kind of could accelerate it up into, or would accelerate up into, and then stall here at the 20, 25 round number area. Then we have above the chop zone, if we get over here, and we have another thing here at 25. So here's the stally thing. And then here we go back up. Now we have market makers short some gamma, so that could accelerate. But then we stall right here at 6140, pretty big and above. So we have this selling pressure as we go above, but buying pressure as we recede. This might be a little too far. Check the deltas. You want to see a 15, 20 delta, even a 10 might matter. So we have this zone and this zone for us to play with as traders. Below 6,100, if we go down, it should be a slow grind down like we had yesterday towards 60, 80, 85. Not a sharp move. Should. Doesn't mean will be. And as we get to the bottom of the 60, 80, 85, which was yesterday's low-ish, if that breaks, there's not a lot below it. Don't torture the data until 60, 60. And so that's kind of the reasonable, okay, if we have a bad day, 60, 60 is, 1% more down. We shouldn't, that's the straddle, that's beyond the straddle price. So I'll start looking to sell puts down there. But if this breaks, there's nothing down here. Now, this is pretty extreme. And of course, we'll go to the extreme on top. If we somehow get through this 50 round number area, we have stalling stuff at 65, stall right below 80 and right below 6,100. So 6,200. So we ain't getting there. Let me zoom in on the heat map because this is sort of ridiculously wide. Let's just do 6,200 for fun. And let's do 6,100. Let's give it a big 200-point range. And we're around here. So 6,100 magnet, path of least resistance float. There's an easy place where we could kind of end up. Time at the end of the day, looks like there's support near 60, 90-ish. Lost volume again. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? It shows my volume thing clicking, so I'm gonna. Okay, you guys can't hear me. Okay. Okay, cool. So it's kind of thin over here, but we see we have this. We see we have this. Thank you, everybody. This is support, and I like the way the lines go. Support to the right, and you can just see the shape of the feature. Just let trust your eye. Your eye is a good filter. You see the stall here, you see the zone here, you see the zone here with this kind of pivoty thing here. You see below here, there's not a lot. Trust your eye. So somebody said lost you. Are you losing my audio or are you losing my my reasoning? Okay, I'm not sure. I'm just going to assume the audio is working. I'll look in the thing in case anybody else says it's not. And let's look at charm, and then we'll kind of go hunting for some other stuff. Okay, he's good. Okay. So let's look at charm. And charm, of course, as we all know, comes in most strongly at the end of the day. But let's just kind of pull it in here, give it a wide berth. Let's look at the channels. So, channels where we should close today: yellow suppressive, blue supportive. We're not supposed to, in theory, close on one of these yellows. That's all we got to worry about for the moment. And if we're under them, we get slammed. So if we're under 60, 50 toward the end of the day, well, 58, 90, clearly we get crushed. So here's that same zone, 6100, 6110. If under, especially toward the end of the day, park like yesterday. If under 6080, you maybe can sneak into 6070, but then that 6060 level. Path to me favors in here or in here, and 6100 might clear up as a parking space later in the day. Let me show you something else. I've been harping on this all week or the last few days. So here's the expected move, straddle price taken last Friday. Here it is every Friday. So it gives us a bit of a big picture. And so you see, we tend to respect the expected move. Of course, we didn't when we had some crazy news stuff, April. But last few weeks, we've respected it, top and bottom, top and bottom, top and bottom. And so 60, 75, 80, 61, 60, 80-ish up here was the top of the expected move. It actually came down a little last week from this week from last week because of the Iran fear at the end of the week. That pulled the index down. So I'd like to see us, not that I get what I want, close underneath that. Give make implied volatility great again. Make implied volatility selling having worked for that. Okay. And so I'm watching that 60, 80, 85 area, 75, not just for TA, not just for where positions are, although I don't think they're positioned there by accident, but for that volatility RV Ivy relationship going forward. Yeah, he like David like 60, 90 again. I kind of do too. I kind of do too. And here, I mean, this is just collapsed. We're going to have to wait for this to come. This is implied versus historic volatility. And so it's kind of collapsed here where they're barely crossing over. I'd like to see implied greater than historic by a little more than that. Okay, so now let's switch gears to what do we want to switch gears to? We looked at that, we looked at that. Let's go back here. Let's take a peek at Friday. Specific. Let's take a peek at Friday. See, this is I don't like this. What do you want to call it? A Christmas tree, a herringbone, whatever. It's kind of all noise. If here, then here. If here, then here. If here, then there. Every 5 points, there's something. So I hope this is wrong or this clears up by tomorrow. Otherwise, I'll just go feed the goats and play with the goats all day. But overall, broadly, I just got to say that this shop keeps us stuck. I got to kind of think about this one a little bit. Just for fun, they have this feature. I think this filters today out. Let's look at what tomorrow looks like. See, look at that. See, I ain't crazy. Look what tomorrow looks like. Forget this stuff down here, like here, if 5960, there's whatever long puts down here. We're not getting there. But let's take a look at this. This is no joke. What do we do with this? Well, let's see. Just, 'cause I'm going to probably sell some 1 DTEs. I have some that I sold, some straddles I sold last week that I took off. I still have a couple loose pieces laying around. Yeah, me too. Me too. I'd like to see it play out with a pullback. So default for Friday, despite all the noise, is 6,100 magnet. There's long stuff there. People have been betting on it. Whether I'm guessing that that's I don't think guessing. I kind of remember that it was risk reversal stuff, sold calls, long puts, kind of thing. I'm not sure, but that's what I'm guessing. Synthetic shorts, technically not a risk reversal. So for tomorrow, 6,100. We have tomorrow the zone. Let's call it somewhere here. Flip, we'll call it by 80, where my level is that I keep talking about. 75 round number, 50 should quote unquote be support. Up top for tomorrow, 6150. We have positive gamma node up here that should quote unquote stall us. 6180 on top of that if we get nuts. And then 6200, there's some stuff if, I don't know, if whatever. I can hear background voice mixed with Doc's voice. That's weird because there's nothing on in my background. Oh, sorry, on the screen. Okay. So anyway, that's kind of what tomorrow looks like. That's kind of what I'm looking at. You're welcome, brother. Like, retweet, repost, whatever, comment, all that engagement stuff. That's all I ask you, for you guys. Um, and also, I happen to think it's good stuff. Let people who are in this space kind of see it. Without the roadmap, without options depth and all the other tools that I use. I use option depth primarily for SPX, but just kind of, full disclosure, I look at, whereas my boy Gamma Edge Paul Duncan, if it would load. I look at that stuff for different things. Yeah, this is really not showing me anything here, but I like to look at that stuff for VIX actually. So let's take a look at VIX while we're in the neighborhood. Let's look at VIX. And you see 242 puts over here at 17. VIX is already getting buried under. Now, I had mentioned, and other people on Twitter had mentioned how cheap these puts were down here. Yesterday, I forgot who mentioned it. August 1 by 2s were coming in. I think this is them. I think buy 117, sell two. I don't think that was. I'd have to check. August 1 by 2s were coming in. Again, I don't think this OI updated yet. And so there's a lot to suggest, whether we like it or not, that VIX is gonna stay at a Sweet 16. Probably not gonna have a bar mitzvah at 13, but kind of gonna be like that for a while. And of course, I use Mentor Q. They also have probably the only game in town with good future stuff. So whatever those numbers are, the market said party on, Garth. We don't really care. And so if they don't care, I don't care. Who am I? As they say, the market could stay irrational longer than you can stay liquid. And rational is in the eye of the beholder anyway. Our Western culture overvalues logic and reason over complexity. And I'll just stop there. I'm not going to get, I'm not going to go there. Um, so here we are, Vix. What I wanted to do while we're here, and I'll put in a trade or two. Just want to see where some of the. I haven't done this in a while. See, okay, this is all crunchy, so I'm just gonna skip to something else. Uh, let's see what Amazon is looking like here. I'm gonna have to set. I don't have this set up for this, so I'm gonna stop this exercise. Let's take a look at the Qs. Qs are at all-time highs, right? NOPQ. So round number 50-50 should be a bridge too far. Below this 40 level, not a lot to stop it. Down to 35. Preferred user, my buddy. Good to see you, man. I'm gonna do a shout out. Put your if you want, put the link to your Discord in there. Preferred user um, runs a great Discord server, and it's basically out of kindness. Some other guys I'm involved with. It's called Bear Trap, and I actually started doing my daily plan there. I don't know, 2022 or 2023, in a much more raw form, and used to hang out and voice chat with these guys and share screen and trade together. Him and Kirby, who went on to found GetSpot. It was kind of a little crucible of us gamma nerds, and I still post my abbreviated version of my daily plan. And actually, if he wants to come on and speak, whenever uh, he's got some new toy he's working on. You know how these geeky guys are. He's working on some new toy for Bear Trap to make, and it's a great free server. I don't know if they have a Patreon or whatever they have there, but whatever it is, it's great, and I'm glad to be associated with them, especially because it's kind of free out of kindness and out of a sense of community, and I really appreciate that. So thank you, dude. Thanks for showing up. Um, and that was heartfelt. I mean it. Also, the other day with Binkus was great. I don't understand everything you're discussing. Oh, that's cute. But it's true. Um, yeah, so my brother Binkus is a scalper. I sell credit spreads mostly, do a little bit of scalping. He scalps and does a little bit of credit spread selling. We also approach the markets, differently from I wouldn't say he's a perma bear. He's permanently cautious by nature, even when we were kids. I'm kind of assertive and optimistic and exploratory by nature and risk taking by nature since 5 years old. And let's not talk about the 60s, 70s, 80s. We'll leave that aside. And and so it's an interesting dynamic, but it works great. And so yeah, we come from different perspectives. Oh, great. Thank you, Rick. Thank you. And so we're going to we did some live stream chats just for subscribers. I'm going to arrange with him to do some stuff for everybody to see, just like, if nothing else, just for amusement, because I think we're funny. We laugh a lot when we're together. So anyway, that said, enough of that nonsense. Let me get some trades in and and see what we're going to do here. Oh, so again, full disclosure here. I got a loser here. Why do I have a loser? Because I wasn't paying attention. I had this pin fly here that I bought for $500 when we were kind of near there for the 27th, following a whale. I forgot to take it off. It was a little green. It was green, and I left it, and then I didn't put in my closing order, or it expired, whatever. I just plain forgot about it. Just shitty trader execution. So now it's like 10 cents or whatever. So what's the difference? So, that happens. I like it when it doesn't happen that much these days, but it happens. Okay, so let's take a look at today. So here's crap I sold yesterday, technical term. I did it last night when we were doing the pin. I think it was after the pin. So the 61.35 is a little close. Not thrilled to be. Oh, this was the one I was just doing the five wide. I was just playing with different deltas. This is the one that I liked. That I liked. The 61.55. Okay, still 20 cents to close. Wow. So what would I do right now? And remember we had that 40 on top. So I'd like to be away from that. I'd like to be away from the round number, but what I like and what I get, two different things. So let's see what this is. Let's do a conservative 15 wide, 60 cents. That's pretty juicy. Let me see the 50 round number, a 10 wide, 30 cents. There's some upside juice. There's some upside juice here, but we're supposed to stall. So I'm gonna put in that for 40 cents, 45 cents. Screw 'em. See if I can get it. And now we have that 40 feature. Let's see if we have faith in that. Whoops. Not enough juice for a 5 wide there. Here I'm short, but if I weren't short, something like that, somewhere up here. Really, I think this will probably be okay. If I didn't have this long here, I would dare them and sell something up here. But really, this might even be an ad. I think I might just add to that. 70 cents for 5 wide. I like that because I'm going to pair that with something on the other side. Remember, it was 60 that when we looked at my daily plan. So let's see what we got here. Not enough juice for this down here. So we have to go to the other end, to that 70, 80 area. I'm not crazy about that. And so I'm not, how should I put it? I'm not a stickler that I have to have the same number of contracts or the same width, whatever. So that looks decent to me. I might add 70 later, put that in. And then I review these at the end of the day. Now this isn't the big account, so to speak. This is a learning account. Uh, Downside, if I wanted to try a cheapy fly, let's look at a put fly. It's called, whoops, put fly. That don't look right. Put spread. I'm sorry, I don't have the margin, the buying power for that. I have decent buying power. Okay, so 30 cents, that's a nice cheapie. 90 cents, a bit expensive for to play with it like that. $100. A 10 wide down here, $70. I don't know. I'm gonna put one in and see what happens. I don't have as high conviction today on this stuff, so I have to come back and see what the market gives me. But that's basically it. Okay, shameless plug time. Let me put all my propaganda in there. And I'm going to go listen to Vol 6. Links I need handy is what I call it, if I could find it. All right. If you like what you're listening to, or would like to read some content, I have free stuff and paid stuff. That Trading View Indicator is part of it. On my Substack, let's see what else we got here. I also, let me put in the referral links. Here's my options depth referral link. I keep telling you, I'll get more referral links for other people. And again, like I said, I think I made $11 from referrals this month, or may have been 22. So I'm not in the referral business. I'm into helping people find stuff that helps them and helping people that I'm associated with. And I'm only associated with somebody if I think they have a good product. There's that. And for what it's worth, and it might not be worth much of anything, especially given my my prodigious skills on TradingView. I think this is a TradingView link to some indicator that I use to put my TV string in for that my paid subscribers get. And so, just to remind you what I'm talking about. Uh, Not this, but this. Where is it? Is it? Yeah, no. Yeah, I don't even know where my own thing is. I see what it's story. I'm on the wrong symbol. That's why it's not showing up. It's only for SPX. So that's the link to put the string in, or you could code up something yourself. I don't know how to do it, but ChatGPT knows how to do it. Dollar sign, symbol, label, whatever you want to call it, bottom of chop, number, comma, whatever the format is. That's what I do. There's no computer program that generates these levels. I look at options depth. I look at mental Q. I look at gamma edge. I look at volatility. I look at moving averages, and I put in what I put in, and I just write it up. You know, brute force. So that's that. And so anyway, so that string is useful if you write up your own thing and you want to shove it in there so you can see where your lines are. That's cool too. Okay, thank you everybody for attending. We'll definitely do a pin show. I don't know if it's going to be for paid subscribers or live. Stay tuned on Twitter or check out my YouTube channel. If you follow me on Substack, then I'll notify everybody there. And I'm going to see if I can get Binkus to do some live scalping for everybody, not just for his subscribers. He's kind of protective of his subscribers. He, they pay him, and he wants them to get their dollars worth. And if anybody's here from the Binkus Scalping channel, type in there how the Binkus Scalping channel is, the paid subscriber stuff. How'd you guys do yesterday? Thank you. How'd you guys do yesterday in the Scalping channel? I wasn't watching. I guess we're up 920. We're up this. We're up that. Pretty good, he says. I keep telling him to kind of copy, screenshot, whatever. I'll have to help him with the green. Green is good. That's at the end of the day. We come out green with the scalping, and he buys 60 delta calls or puts, basically holding time 30 seconds to 5 minutes. Sometimes, if it's a long-term retirement investment, 15 minutes. Very different than me. Yesterday was good with Pincus. Yeah. And so a lot of people do both. We have a deal where you do both, and we're going to put it together. Here's an example of what I've been. Well, let me see what he says. Okay, so where's the example? Okay. Partial onside indicating nearing overboard. Volume spike when over suggests heightened activity. Okay. So that volume spike is buying volume, right? Okay. However, the president of two unfilled gas. Okay, so this is the TA stuff. You have to be careful. And this is a bot that's doing this for you. All right, so now if we could superimpose gamma on top of that, we got something. Correct, bot. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All automated. He's got some crazy automated stuff in that bear trap thing. I'm gonna put. He does. I'm gonna put an invite link in there. People might get mad at me, but they can get mad at me all they want. It's good stuff. Where's Bear Trap on my 472 servers I'm in? Here we go. Bear Trap, invite people, copy. If I piss people off, that's okay. I think we're in this together and we're a community, we're all traders. Some people might have different whatever, so, but we all basically trying to make money using GAM or using whatever it is we use. So there's there's a link to Bear Trap. I don't get paid from Bear Trap. I don't do anything. I've worked with these guys for years. Very good people, very kind people. Really just want to help. I kind of tear up a little bit when I think about it. These guys are the real deal, folks. Anyway, I'm going to end the stream here and listen to Vol Sigs. And stay tuned. I'll be tweeting. You guys know me. I'll be all over the place. So have a great day.